Now with reaction, former 2016 Republican presidential candidate, former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, as well as Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. You know, I look at, Governor, you've dealt with a corrupt media. Sheriff, you've dealt with a corrupt media. I've dealt with it my whole life also. It's all true. But as Newt said earlier in the program, you've got to factor that in. It's just a reality that is never going to change. Right, Governor?
Well, that's exactly right, Sean. I mean, you wake up every day, and the first thing you got to do when you look in the mirror is to say, the media will never be my friend. And Donald Trump has to understand they're never going to be for him. They're always going to be against him. But it doesn't hurt him with the people because most people don't have any faith in the media. They have the lowest approval rating that they've ever had in history, and people don't trust the media any more than they trust Hillary. Let Trump focus on those two facts. What he said in that little clip you played, that was exactly how to handle it. Tie the media to the same frustrations that people have about the way this system is rigged. And that's how he overcomes it. But don't dignify them. Don't give them place by giving too much attention to them, because they don't deserve that kind of attention from him.
You know, and Sheriff, look at the death and destruction in Obama's home city of Chicago. You know, there is something really radically wrong that a president will talk about Cambridge, Trayvon, Ferguson, and Baltimore, but ignore 3,000 shot this year, nearly 4,000 killed since he's been president in his own hometown, and nobody in America knows their names. Isn't that a media that only goes with a president's narrative, ignoring real death and destruction, not telling the true story?
Sure, they're covering for him. You know, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Look, the liberal mainstream media is dwindling into irrelevancy, Sean, and you know that. Donald Trump understands that this is a dragon that has to be slayed. The liberal mainstream media, these rags, realize that this is their last stand to have any influence over the American public as it relates to presidential politics. And Donald Trump, it's a thing of beauty, continues to play the or employ a strategy of Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope. The media is pounding away, throwing everything they got like George Foreman was, and every once in a while Donald Trump looks up, he smiles, and he says, is that all you got? And at some point, it's going to be November 8th, the American public is going to fire back and finish them off. Donald Trump is going to win this election, and the liberal mainstream media, I want to make that clear, they know that, and I'm telling you right now, they are scared as hell.
Governor, and that then comes to strategy for Donald Trump. There are deep, profound differences that will have a dramatic impact on this country based on who gets elected. Everything from the Supreme Court to vetting refugees, to protecting our borders, to eliminating Obamacare, to balancing a budget, to lowering taxes, you know, to energy independence, to education. These are profound, deep differences. To what extent does Donald Trump have to balance that agenda and point out the distinct change he's offering versus dealing with falsehoods and attacks?
Well, I think he's got to focus on the differences that he and Hillary Clinton bring. Look, one of the things a president does that's most powerful is employ people and appoint people. Who will Hillary appoint to the EPA? What will they do to the fossil fuel industry? What will they do to the cost of a tank of gasoline, or the cost of heating oil, or the cost of natural gas? That's going to be a huge difference. Who's going to be a champion for people getting manufacturing jobs back that pay decent wages? Who's going to protect the home of our country against people coming in who are not vetted? Who's really going to enforce our immigration laws? Those are the things that Donald Trump is
so as long as he's getting that message out
with Hillary on.
And the comparing and contrasting of what the future will look like under her and under him, that's key?
I think it's absolutely the key. And if he just continues to pound away at that, look, it's very obvious that there's a difference between Hillary Clinton having used government as her own ATM to take cash out, doing favors for foreign governments who in turn then gave money to the Clinton Foundation. Corruption is rampant. But in addition to the dishonesty that she brings to this, it's the philosophical vent that she comes with that would be devastating to this country and to the deplorable and irredeemable people that she has no respect for.
You're deplorable. We're all in the basket of deplorables. Sheriff, you're in the basket with us.
Yeah, I'm right there. Look, Donald Trump has created a great vision for America. You know, make America great again. Every American can see that. They can envision that. He's talking about defeating radical Islamic terror. He's talking about reducing crime and violence in all American cities for all American, but particularly in the American ghetto. And he's talking about kickstarting this economy to put people back to work again. Those are things that affect us here at ground level. I know the Beltway, the bubble in the Beltway, those people are disconnected. The Congress, the Washington politicians, the media elite, they're all disconnected. But we down here at ground level, we know what we want, and it's Donald Trump's vision for America.
All right, thank you both for being with us. When we come back, we have a very important question of the day as this special edition of Hannity continues straight ahead.